Hey, all my Libra friends. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I'm here today to talk about Jupiter's retrograde in Gemini, starting October 9th, 2024, and going all the way till February 4th, 2025. Gemini is your ninth house, which is a house that is naturally ruled by Jupiter. Um, Jupiter is expansive. Jupiter represents your religious beliefs, your philosophical beliefs, your ideologies. It rules foreign people, foreign travel, higher education. Those are all pretty well known, but it also rules business expansion. It rules publishing, branding, marketing. And in this modern day, I think it rules influencers. It rules the Supreme Court. So what I believe is we're going to see is not only things happening on a personal level during Jupiter's retrograde, but also seeing things happening on the world stage. Jupiter will retrograde, as I said, from October until February 2025. And during such, it's going to experience its second square to Saturn. Saturn has been in Pisces. Saturn has been retrograde and is about to turn direct in a couple of weeks. But that's another video. Pisces is your sixth house of work, your house of health. And I think of it a lot, not only physical health, but the stresses of everyday life and how that affects you. It rules your employment and your employers. It also rules your service to others. Now, we layer the Pisces energy, which is very creative, very spiritual. It's also a place where we feel a bit hidden. We feel unseen. We feel a sense of invisibility. And I think that's coming up because Jupiter is so expansive up in your ninth house. And then we have Saturn contracting your sixth house. And that could be happening in a couple of ways, depending upon what your chapter is in life, because you could be feeling, if you're a more seasoned professional on the planet, you could be feeling the Saturn affecting your physical body and your sense of movement forward. At the same time, I think that it also gives you an opportunity to really root in some very, okay, I'm going to Pisces rules ancestry. It rules the ancestry of the soul. And I feel like within every human, there is a soul's knowing that God made the perfect apparatus for us in this human body. And there could be a situation where your health or things affecting your physical body are in conflict with the Gemini Jupiter energy of the information you're receiving about it. The Gemini rules short bits of information. It rules our interactions and communications and our interactions with our neighborhoods, our communities, our everyday lives, our roadways. So there's something to me when I see Jupiter in its natural ninth house, but in detriment in Gemini, which is where it's not the most comfortable, where we have to look at the details. So I think this could potentially, for my Libras, be in regards to either how you handle stress, how you are handling your physical body and its apparatus, and or what you believe about the opportunities within your work environment. Jupiter again rules business, the expansion of business. So back in August, Jupiter had its first square with Saturn. At the time, Jupiter was moving forward at 17 degrees and Saturn was going retrograde at 17 degrees of Pisces. Now, that's the exact day, but these are planets that move more slowly. So there's a ramping up and a ramping down of these energies. So if you go back to what was happening, let's say in July, late July, all the way through maybe till, September, the themes will be similar. There could be a revisit of that. All retrogrades are an opportunity to revisit, to reevaluate, to fine tune on some level. Jupiter will be retrograde on the 24th of December, and it will have its second square with Saturn direct at 14 degrees of Pisces. So this to me is going to be very much, Jupiter's religion as well. Saturn is government and authority. There could be a challenge during the holidays for you where there's so many ways that Jupiter could play out in your natal chart. If you have planets in the 6th and the 9th house, I would look at see how they're playing out, because the square is a challenge where there are old beliefs, old ways of being, old ways of potentially worshiping, old ways of doing business, all those Jupiterian things. And when I look at the fine details, I want to expand them into a more fresh energy. Saturn rules history. So we could see this fight between expansion and contraction, between old and new, between traditional philosophies, ideologies, ways of being that don't work in a modern age. And Jupiter wanting to revisit those ideas and rewrite them and expand them once again. We also see that starting on the 9th of October and up until about the middle of December, Jupiter and Chiron will have a sextile. So here again, Jupiter's in the 9th house of Gemini, and Aries is your 7th house. That's where Chiron is currently residing. So this is going to give you a favorable, how can I want to phrase this? This is a supportive energy to helping you transform the square between Saturn and Jupiter into wisdom. Chiron represents that wound that we have, the wound the soul has, and it comes into this lifetime to transform that wound and extract the wisdom so that it can then garnish the reward. So when we're looking at the 7th house, we're looking at peace and harmony. Yes, there are professional partnerships there. There are intimate partnerships there. It's where the soul commingles for the first time in commitment, other than work. So I feel like for my Libras, this could be very much about pioneering a new way of finding peace and harmony for yourself as you unravel where you may feel invisible or unseen in your everyday work life, that Pisces 6th house Saturn, and then Jupiter giving you an opportunity in its natural 9th house, but yet in detriment, because that detriment is where it's the furthest away from where it feels natural. But at the same time, there's got to be almost this sense of like a past life when you go somewhere and you're like, oh, I feel like I've been here before. That would be what Jupiter's doing in your 9th house. But it's also asking you to dig into the details of those beliefs, of the expansion of your beliefs, of your philosophies in relation to potentially government authority, the judicial system, which I think in the United States would represent Congress and the House of Representatives and those bodies that affect our lives. So this is supportive. So while we have this tension growing, we also have this opportunity to understand how the tension compels us and inspires us forward. I think that's it for what I wanted to say. Again, let me quickly tell you the degrees. Jupiter will retrograde from 21 degrees in October all the way back to 11 degrees of Gemini and then move forward again. This is the second decant basically of Gemini. So this is where we're really not new, but we're not mastered yet. And we are going back and we're looking at these more subtle nuances that we may have missed the first time Jupiter moved this direction. And again, if this is touching in any way, aspecting any of your personal planets conjunct, trine or square or sextile, then you're going to be revisiting the themes of the planets that are involved. All right, again, that's enough from me. for now. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and come back for more content. And join me Sundays at 11 a.m. Pacific time, where I go live on YouTube and we do an angel reading and a tarot card for each sign to get their advice for traversing the week ahead's transits. All right, everybody, I'll see you soon. Enjoy your Jupiter retrograde.